In this short video I'm going to show you how to load pictures, and then I'm going to want you to make a program very similar to this one, maybe adding a few things if you'd like. Let's start out. I've got the program set up ahead of time here, and I've got a number of items here. For example, this part is the load picture button, so I've got two buttons and a slideshow button. I'm going to show you how to make an easy one, and later on we're going to learn how to improve this. This particular part right here, this is a picture box, and of course I could put the background to whatever color I wanted. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And I've also added an open dialog box, DLG open I've called it. So this is the basic form setup. We're going to call this Picture Viewer, and I need to show you about this picture box here. Basically I pulled it off the tool menu, and it's part of the regular tool menu that you usually use, the common controls. You come down to here, and there's your picture box, and you just draw a nice reasonable sized one on the page. Okay, so let's put that one away, and let's go to the code, and I have some of the code pre-written. First of all, let's do the load picture button, the simplest one. So I'm going to double click here, and it gives me my load picture. You can see I have this stuff up here. Everything up at the top here is pre-slugged in, and I put the file name, S file name, as a string. Important, put a file name variable. You're going to use a variable here, and so that's what we're going to look at here. And then here's the picture load button. And so to load a picture, it's rather simple, and we're going to do it with the dialog box. So I'm asking you to actually put the dialog box in so you can choose what pictures you want. Now I'm going to drop into here, and I'm going to copy the code so it doesn't take me so long to type it. And there is the code for this particular operation. Let me explain everything that I'm doing at this point. Let's start with this line right here. The first line is, as you recognize, opening the dialog box. Okay, I do need to do some typing here and change this. I don't want rich text files anymore. I'm just going to put two of them in here. Let's see. Let's do, first of all, JPG picture files. Okay, and so to that I need anything in this position. That's what the little asterisk means, but I need JPG here in lowercase. I've not tested this to see if this is case sensitive. I don't think it is, because I think these are standard DOS commands. I'm going to copy that first little part right there, and I think I want to copy further than what we got. Let's see. I'm going to copy it all the way up to this bar, and I'm going to paste it in right behind it, because I also want to have the advantage of looking up GIF. So we'll say GIF pictures, and of course I have to do GIF back here then. Okay, and then we'll leave the all files one there. That's fine. So now we'll have three things in that drop down menu. Startup path, application path. That'll get us close enough. I'm going to have an image folder in my application path. Perhaps I should show you how we're setting this up. And I will put an image folder out there on the drive that you can pick up. But in here, in the program area, I'm going into my program, the bin, go into the bin, and into the debug. And in here I have a folder. If you'll notice right there, this is in the folder where I've kept my images. I made a capital I, and images is what I called it. And if we go in and look, I put it on thumbnail view, and these are just pictures. They're actually the litter that my daughter got her dog from, and so I just picked those up. And we will copy and paste these names into the program, and I've already pre-done that in the code, but basically I'm just going to copy and paste some of them. I'm not going to do all of them. And of course you can get to these easily by doing that open. And we're going to see how that works. So I'm going to put that back off the screen for right now. And let's go here. Let's go to the next one. All right, so that's initial directory right here is going to get us close enough so that we can go right into that thing in a minute. We then open the dialog box, of course, and then we grab the file name. Now, the file name gives us the whole path. Out of the dialog box, the file name includes the whole path to whatever you choose. So wherever you're at, it's real handy. It gives you the entire path. And that's what we need in this next statement, the entire path. And so we've got it here. It's right in there, in that file name, that variable. And so all we do is say the name of our screen. Oh, by the name, we named the picture screen, I call it pic screen, PIC for picture. And we load, give it the load command, and then we give it the file name with the full path in it. And sure enough, it finds the picture and loads it. Well, let's just see if this works. I'm going to save it here first of all, and then I'm going to start it. Okay, it's running. It's actually running over here. Here we go. I dragged it on there. This is the button we were programming just now. If I click it, sure enough, I get an open box coming up. This is in the debug directory. You can see right up here. It's in the debug directory. Okay, you can see here's JPEG right down here. Let's just drop that down. You see all three of them, JPEG, GIF, and then all files. If you wanted to see all the files, let's just take a look. There's all the files in that directory. Going back to my JPEG files. I'm going to go into image. Actually, let's do GIF files because I don't have any GIF. And watch what happens. If I go GIF files and I go into image, nothing. But if I go back to JPEG files, there they all are. Those are the pictures. And if I really want to see what I'm getting, I can go do thumbnails, and there I can see what I'm getting. Let's see. Let's choose puppies playing. Okay, so I pick that one. I say open, and sure enough, it opens in my picture screen. Alright, so that part works nicely. Let's take a look at a few things on this picture screen. Let's look first of all. Let's see, I'm going to close it. Let's go for loading another picture. I'm going to load another picture. This time, let's look at Dolly and Patsy. It's the first one up here. So I'm going to click on it and say open. And there's that. Notice we got two dogs over here and this dog right here. Okay, I want you to notice that this is what's shown in this picture. Because we're going back to the main screen and taking a look at the design of this thing. If I click on my, basically my picture box, there's a little arrow up here at the top. Okay, let me kind of highlight that little arrow. See it right up there? Alright, that little arrow dropping down. Right now the size mode is normal. Let's look what happens if I do a stretch image. Okay, so doing a stretch image, we're going to save it now. Actually, no, I don't think I'm going to save it. I'm just going to run it. And I'm going to come over here and grab it as soon as it comes up and bring it back over to the screen for us. Watch what happens when I load that same picture again. Alright. Notice, remember it was cut off right here before on normal. It stayed normal size, but this time it's stretched to the size of my picture box, the pic screen. Notice doing that also, it looks a little distorted. Okay, you can see how the picture just looks a little bit distorted. That happens when you stretch pictures. Alright, so let's go back again and let's try a different one now. We did stretch image. Let's come down to auto size. Alright, so if I run it with auto size on it, loading my pictures, going to get, let's see, Dolly, Dottie, and Patsy, I guess, are the three dogs. Now, look at this. It anchored my picture box in the up, but it resized the picture box, and as a matter of fact, I might have to go back here and bring the screen a little larger so you can see the whole thing. It actually resized the picture box, keeping everything normal now. Notice this isn't distorted. The legs are normal length. Everything looks normal here. It put it right underneath. The picture box was laid down first when I created this thing, so it was underneath the two buttons, so the buttons show through yet. However, it distorted it. Let me try and find a different picture. I'm just going to go down here and see if I can find different sized ones. Okay, that's about the same size. There are some unique ones if I can find them. That one's kind of square. Family with names. Okay, I'm pretty much getting the same size here. I wish I could find one that's different. Oh, there's one that's different. Look at this one. This one pushed way out to the side here. You see, so the picture box resizes depending on the type of picture you've got in it. And in some applications, that may be what you want. Let's try another choice here. I want to show you these choices so you can make the proper choice. Center image. Well, center image doesn't resize. You'll see that in a second. But what it does is it puts the image in the center, so hopefully if you've centered your subject in your picture, you'll be okay. We're again going to get the first one here. And take a look. It's a little better, but now we're cutting off this part of that dog's face, and it's still not giving you the whole picture. It's cutting it down in size. Okay. Let's try the last choice here. I think it was the last choice. Yeah, zoom. Now, zoom's an interesting one. And it may be the one most people like. It doesn't make the image box bigger, or the picture box bigger. Let me show you here. It instead keeps the picture from being distorted, but makes sure it fits within the boundaries of the picture box. So zoom is kind of a nice one. It shrinks the picture in what direction you need. You notice it didn't fill it out here. Let's go to another picture. Let's see, where was that one? Family with names, I think, was a big one, right? And there it is. It puts it all within, but makes sure that it stays undistorted. So those are your possibilities of picture boxes. And I'm going to leave it with that one when we go to the next one now. Okay, so our picture box is that way. The next button we want to do is we want to do slideshow. So let's get our application here. And I'm going to just copy the code from over on this side and put it in here. Let's see. I'm going to need to dim another variable. Select OK. And we'll just drop this code in first. And while you're looking at that, I'll go out and get this other variable that I've dimmed here, which is the I. And we'll put it right here. Okay. I dimmed another variable, an integer variable, because I'm going to use this as a counter to help me jump through different pictures. I went out and I just simply copied and pasted the picture, the name of the picture, onto this program. So I went out and I got the picture and pasted it here, and I just am going to put it in as the file name. Now the problem with this is that this is not the whole file name. This is not the whole path. This is simply the file name. So if you'll notice right down here in this statement, I have supplied the path I want it to get the pictures from. The dot means here. Well, where is here? When the application is running, it's the directory that the application is in. Then I want it to go down a level into the images folder, and from there I want it to pick up the file name that I'm talking about. So you see, that ampersand puts those two things together, a string and then a string within a string variable right here. Okay, so those are the things that are put together, and now that makes a whole path. Even though I didn't specify it all the way from the root, I'm starting from here. That's what that little dot means, here, where the application is. Okay, if it works, we're in business. Let's give it a try. Here goes, slideshow. There's one. That would be the Dotsy and Patsy. Let's see, I should move this up so you can see the names are going through. That's the Dottie and Patsy. Now let's see, let's go for family with names. There we go. And there's Mom. And there's Dolly, Dottie, and Patsy rather. And there's Mandy nursing. That's the mom. and there's a dog with pink feet. Okay? And then what happens? It starts over. Let's take a look at it. We're at this top now. We're doing the first one. All right? It went down and got case 1. Why? Because I was set to 0 down at the very bottom. Let's show you where that is here. See right here? We go through each of the cases. I starts out, and actually in the form load, I is set to 0 to begin with. But it doesn't matter what number it is, because even if it isn't one of the cases I have here, I have a case else where I load pink feet, and I also set the counter back to 0 after I've done that. So it gets through all the pictures I have loaded here. The case else then lets you know that you're beyond your number base, and I'm setting it back to 0 so that when it comes in the top here, it adds 1 to it and goes to case 1. And then the next time it'll add 1 to whatever it was, and that will make it 2, and it'll go to case 2 here, you see. Okay, so basically we're going right down the list each time, and we've added these in, and so we have sort of a slideshow. There are actually better ways of doing this, and I'm going to show those to you later when we get into what our directories and being able to pull a directory up, because we need what we call an array. And an array is something that is memory that you number and you can step through. But as I click these variables, you'll see there's the second one, family with names. Then here's Mandy Mom, Dottie, nursing, and there's pink feet again, and back up to the top. You see? Keeps going right through the list over and over. Alright, so basically I've shown you the two types of ways of loading. Let's look. First of all, where I have supplied the path and just put the file name in the file name variable, or where I've used the dialog open and it puts the whole file name so I don't have to worry about anything. You just put that variable in there and it loads. The basic thing to load a picture into a picture box, which is I called pick screen, is the load command. We're going to learn more about picture boxes and drawing in the next